All right, welcome back to another episode of Apple Rewind, where you're going to be able to get all of our wallpapers from the week as well as recapping what went on. And last week was a busy week for Apple as we have finally gotten official confirmation for the next Apple event that will now officially take place on September 9th. So, starting right here, this actually gives us inclination for how the next couple of weeks will go with betas, RCs, and the public release. As you can see, today is the actual 29th, or excuse me, the 30th of August, which means we are only a few weeks away from everything really going down for the new iPhone 17 series, the Apple Watch Series 11, Ultra 3, and everything else that Apple has in store, possibly even a new pair of AirPods Pro. So, first things first. This week, that starts on the 1st, we are not anticipating to get another beta. Beta 8 should be the final beta that we should be getting in this beta cycle. Having said that now, I believe we will skip that week, and then on the 9th, right after the event is concluded, probably around 3 Eastern or so, we should be getting the RC or release candidate build, which also should be the same build as the public release, which should be dropping around the 15th. We will get confirmation on the actual public release on the 9th, as well as Apple's giving its typical song and dance, talking about iOS and the new iPhones and everything along those lines. And then also on the 19th is when we should be able to expect the actual release date for all these new products. The 12th should be the pre-order date, with again a week later the actual pickup date or delivery date for all your shiny new iPhones and everything else that they're going to announce. So pretty cool, pretty exciting few weeks to come, except for this week where we're anticipating not much new. Now, we say this, but there is always a slight chance Apple might have some little revision they want to do and release another beta for, but again, that is very unlikely. Aside from that, also, as far as performance goes on the Beta 8 and Public Beta 5 that they released this week, we did run some Geekbench scores here, and if you actually look at the history here, you can pretty much assume the one on top will give us probably about the best inclination what we can expect. So the single core score was 3456 and multi-core score of 8311. And around the beginning of the beta cycle, as you can see at the bottom here, we were significantly lower on a single core score and a bit lower on multi-core score. So we are definitely moving in the right direction, and this is actually going to hopefully be one of the best builds coming soon for iOS. Now, aside from just jumping around like we typically do, everything has been pretty fluid. Haven't had any issues really checking out anything on the day-to-day. So benchmarks, all those scores are irrelevant really from day-to-day usage and really kind of jumping around, seeing what's going on. And it's been flawless in our everyday use. Now, I will hesitate and pause simply because battery life has been one of those things that we talk about every time a beta comes out, and every time how it is has seemed to flex and fluctuate. As you can see here, for some reason, we're using a lot more battery than usual, even though I don't feel like we've done anything excessive on it. And battery life has not got us through a full day now on Beta 8. For some reason, the device has been warming up a little bit after initially installing it, and the first couple of days running with it, it was pretty good. But for some reason, it is getting warm and giving us some issues here. Now, as you can see here, we do have 370 cycles in our count right now with a max capacity of still 95%. And now we're at that point where we have had this device really nearly a year. And this is not too terrible. So I'm okay with this considering how past iPhones have been. Max capacity has taken a huger drop than 5% in a year. Aside from that, though, also, again, stability's been great. The actual issue that I've been discovering with Control Center, every time you swipe up the first time, you see that little lag there. It's so strange, still there, but a lot of you guys in the comments are reporting that that is not present for you. So let me know in the comments below if you have that issue. And then also, one other thing I do want to show you guys, since somehow this has still not been resolved, is iPhone storage. After using this now for almost a week, you can see that our system data has not decreased. We are still over 34 gigs of data being used simply for system data. And then obviously with iOS, this has been a little bit more consistent. Apple Intelligence hasn't fluctuated too much. We're still a little over 6 gigs. iOS is 13.5 gigs for a total of just under 20 gigs. Still pretty excessive if you ask me, but aside from that, no big deal here. If you like playing games, we like playing Clash Royale on our phone. We've had no issues here with stutters or performance, luckily. Game mode, when it turns on, has been inconsistent and kind of weird. What I mean by that is if you swipe down and you go to the game overlay here, you can see everything is pulling up as you would expect. You have all your friends, your contacts, sound displays, game mode on and off, controller, all of your standard features, but that option has not always appeared. It's been kind of weird. Again, let me know in the comments if you guys experienced any of these issues with Public Beta 5 or Beta 8. But aside from that, aside from the overheating, I don't think anything else really big transpired this week. Again, when you're 8 betas in, you are not going to have any new features, even in watchOS, iPadOS, or any of that. It's just simply tweaking. And luckily, I think Apple has finally settled on what Liquid Glass will look like for the public release. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Again, comment below. Let me know these answers to some of these questions. Is it just me having these issues, or are you experiencing them as well? Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.